Plymouth was one of the most heavily bombed British cities during World War II. The first bombs fell on the city on the 6th of July 1940, with the heaviest period of bombing occurring in March and April 1941. Between the 6th of July 1940 and the 30th of April 1944, there were 59 separate raids. The air raid siren sounded 602 times, 41 churches were struck, 3,754 homes were destroyed, 4,448 civilians were injured, 1,174 civilians were killed. In this presentation, I am going to take you on a tour of some of the sites which still bear the scars of the Luftwaffe's cruel aerial attack, known as the Blitzkrieg. Here I am outside Drake Primary School in Plymouth. During the time my mum worked here as a teacher, a large public air raid shelter was discovered under the playground. Some staff were permitted to go down into the shelter and have a look around. They found cartoons and graffiti written on the wall and some personal items such as a pair of shoes. The shelter had to be filled in to prevent the playground from collapsing, so it cannot be seen anymore. In the dockyard, the damage was heavy, and some of the old buildings, including the ropery and the mould loft, where full-size templates and moulds of ships were drawn out and made, were gutted by fire. The Royal Navy dockyard at Her Majesty's Naval Base Devonport certainly took their share of the attacks. The dockyards were the main targets in Plymouth because of the naval shipbuilding that took place there. Inside the dockyard there was great devastation, and there was not much left of the residential areas of Devonport either. Civilian casualties were very high, and yet still the dockyards continued in operation. Despite being bombed and up all night, the dockyard workers were still expected to turn up the following day in the continued fight against the Nazis. Saw the largest single loss of civilian life in the city, where at least 76 civilians were killed, including a mother and her 6 children, as the underground shelter took a direct hit from a German bomb on the night of April the 22nd, 1941. At the height of the Blitz, the bomb blast was so violent that the human remains were found in the tops of trees. Only 3 people escaped alive, all children. This sculpture commemorating the dreadful loss of life was unveiled in 2006. Barbara Mills, aged 79, revealed the piece of art, a symbol of hope for the city, moving many tears on Thursday, April 23rd, 2009. She was aged just 11 on the night of April 22nd, 1941, when the German bomb hit, killing her mother, father, grandfather and little sister Betty. This is the flat my mum used to live in. You will notice that the houses either side of it look different to the Victorian terraced housing of the rest of the street. When my mum lived here, she held a party on the roof every year when the fireworks competition was on, as her roof garden gave the most amazing uninterrupted view of Plymouth Sound, where the fireworks are set from. It wasn't until she was teaching World War II to her Year 4 pupils that she found out a map of where every bomb was dropped during the Blitz. She noticed that there had been a direct hit on the houses halfway down Baring Street, and then she realised, of course, that was the reason her flat looked so different to the others in her street, because the original houses here were destroyed by German bombers during the Blitz. She never took that view for granted again. Behind me stands the remnants of Charles Church, a shell of its former self, literally. Its ruins have been left here as a stark reminder of the devastation caused by the Blitz. Originally, this sacred building was the mother church of Plymouth and was an important landmark and place of worship. During the night of the 21st and 22nd of March 1941, the church was entirely wrecked by German incendiary bombs. These devices were not used to destroy buildings by explosions, but instead they ignited thousands of fires all over the place, which the people of Plymouth fought hard to extinguish or contain. These Plymouth landmarks have given us and historians a clearer look at the reality of the Blitzkrieg attacks on Plymouth, and allow us to make a connection with what can sometimes feel just like a part of history. The Blitz may be in the past, but it has helped to shape our present, and we hope we can learn from the utter terror and devastation such that it can also shape our future.